My name is Jake. I am 26 years old and from Brazil. Just a few months ago, I couldn't speak even a full sentence in English. Not even something as simple as, "How are you?" Without overthinking it, I was completely lost. But today, my life is very different. I speak English fluently, confidently, and naturally. And the surprising part is, I reached this level in just 5 months. I did it without paying for expensive classes, without moving to an English-speaking country, and without wasting years on ineffective methods. My journey didn't begin with motivation, it began with failure. For as long as I can remember, my dream was to work as a software engineer in a global technology company. I loved coding, I worked hard, and I was good at it. Finally, after years of effort, I got an email that changed everything. "Congratulations, Jake. You were selected for an interview." It was with a big company in the United States. I was excited beyond words. I could see my future, a new country, a great salary, working with some of the best engineers in the world. But when the interview started, everything collapsed. 3 native speakers appeared on the screen, and the moment they began speaking, it felt as if someone had pressed fast forward on their voices. I couldn't understand anything. The first question was simple. "Jake, can you tell us about yourself and your experience in software development?" I knew exactly what to say in my head, but the words didn't come out. I panicked. I stuttered. Yes, I am. Software. I do coding, many projects. Good, I am very good." The silence that followed felt like a knife in my stomach. They asked me another question, but again, nothing came out. After a few minutes, one of them smiled politely and said, "Thank you for your time." I knew what that meant. I had failed, and it wasn't because I wasn't skilled enough for the job, it was because I couldn't speak English. That day, I realized the true power of language. English wasn't just a tool for communication. It was the key to opportunities, and right now, I didn't have that key. I felt ashamed and frustrated. For years, I had told myself, I don't need English. My technical skills are enough. But in that moment, I saw the truth. Without English, I was invisible. That night, I made a decision. I would learn English, and I would learn it fast. Most people, when they want to learn English, immediately sign up for expensive courses. I didn't. I had already tried that in the past. I had paid for online classes where the teacher gave me long vocabulary lists to memorize, endless grammar exercises, and boring rules. After 3 months of studying that way, I still couldn't hold a simple conversation. So I knew, if I wanted real results, I needed a completely different approach. I needed a system that worked in real life. For the first 15 days, I did something unusual. I didn't study new words at all. I already knew hundreds of words, but I couldn't use them. So instead, I focused on the words I already knew. I sat down and wrote a list of 50 sentences I needed in my daily life. Things like, "How are you? Can you repeat that? I don't understand," and "I need a coffee, please." Every morning, I read those 50 sentences out loud 10 times. At first, my tongue felt heavy and slow. But after a few days, the sentences began to come out naturally. I also made it a rule to speak to myself in English every day. In the shower, I would say, "I am taking a shower." The water is hot, I feel relaxed. While making breakfast, I would say, "I am cooking eggs." I like eggs. They are easy to make. At first, I felt a little stupid talking to myself, but soon I realized this was my private classroom. No one could hear me. No one could judge me. And little by little, my brain started thinking in English. Another powerful exercise I did was copying native speakers. Every day, I chose 5 sentences from movies, podcasts, or real conversations. I didn't just read them. I copied them exactly, repeating them with the same tone, speed, and emotion. This practice helped me sound natural and fixed my pronunciation. By the end of 15 days, something amazing happened. I stopped translating in my head. I could finally say basic sentences without hesitation. But that was only the beginning. After 2 weeks, I needed real practice. My biggest problem was speed. I knew words, but I couldn't put them together fast enough. So I created the question-answer method. It was simple. I asked myself a question and answered immediately, without thinking too much. For example, "What did you do today?" At first, I said, I worked. Then I pushed myself. I worked on my project. Next, I worked on my project for 3 hours, then I took a break. With every repetition, I added more details. This trained my brain to form sentences quickly. I also worked on my pronunciation with what I called the echo technique. I would listen to a native speaker, pause, and then repeat the sentence exactly as I heard it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. After repeating it 10 times, I could hear my accent getting closer to theirs. Slowly, people began telling me, your English sounds really natural. For vocabulary, I didn't memorize lists anymore. Instead, I used the story method. Every day, I took 5 new words and made a short story. For example, excited, invitation, party, arrive, surprise. My story. I was very excited because I received an invitation to a big party. When I arrived, I got a huge surprise. It was my birthday party. By telling these stories, I remembered the words easily and could use them in real conversations. As weeks passed, I pushed myself further. I started keeping a daily journal in English. At first, my writing was very basic. Today I went to work. I was tired. I ate pizza. But as I read blogs, articles, and books, I noticed how native speakers structured their sentences. I copied that style in my journal, and soon my writing became more natural. Another breakthrough came from shadowing. I would watch videos of native speakers, put on my headphones, and repeat every word immediately after them, matching their rhythm and tone. It was challenging, but within weeks, my accent and fluency improved dramatically. Perhaps the most important part of my journey was confidence. Many people know English but are too afraid to speak. I decided I would not be one of them. I started talking to strangers, shopkeepers, even colleagues in English. Sometimes I made mistakes, but I noticed something surprising. People didn't laugh. They understood me, and they appreciated the effort. That gave me courage to keep speaking. Eventually, I faced my biggest fear, talking to native speakers directly. I prepared by practicing 10 common topics like, what do you do for work? And, what's your favorite food? I practiced them so many times that they became automatic. Then I joined online English groups with people from around the world. At first, I was nervous, but soon I realized everyone was there for the same reason. I made friends, practiced every day, and learning became fun. One day, after months of practice, I was speaking to myself in the mirror. I realized something had changed. I wasn't hesitating. I wasn't translating. The words were flowing naturally. It felt like magic, but it was the result of consistent effort. That same day, I tested myself by joining an online discussion with native speakers. I spoke confidently, understood everything, and even received compliments. That was the moment I knew I was fluent. 5 months after my journey began, I reapplied for the same dream job. This time, I wasn't nervous. I walked into the interview with confidence, answered every question with ease, and spoke like someone who owned the language. A few days later, I got the call I had been waiting for. Jake, congratulations, you got the job. My starting salary was $5,000 a month, more than I had ever imagined. When I called my parents with the news, my mother cried, and my father, a man of few words, simply said, we always knew you could. With my first salary, I bought my father a watch he had always wanted and my mother a gold necklace to thank them for their sacrifices. In that moment, I realized every struggle had been worth it. Every late night, every frustration, every time I wanted to give up. What I learned is clear. Mindset is everything, consistency is non-negotiable, and fear must never stop you. If you surround yourself with English, practice every day, and push yourself to speak without fear, you can achieve fluency much faster than you think. In just 5 months, I transformed not only my English but also my life. And if I could do it, so can you.